Hello and welcome to News Central TV. I'm Darshan Usman. The top stories this hour. Survivors of March 14, 2024 Okwama killings mark Remembrance Day with mixed feelings. Fubara Rights Assembly plans budget representation on Wednesday as INEC releases updated voters register and list of political parties. And on the foreign scene, 31 out of 1,500 persons diagnosed of cholera die in Ethiopia's Gambella region. Details shortly. Today marks the one-year anniversary of the Okwama bloodbath, a tragic incident on March 14, 2024, in which 17 Nigerian soldiers on a peace mission to the Okwama community in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State, South Nigeria, were ambushed and killed by unidentified militants. The incident was widely condemned by Nigerians and the international community, but the Nigerian soldiers' reprisal attack brought the Okwama community to ruins, displacing residents before the state government temporarily relocated them to the internally displaced persons camp in Otoewu, where they stayed for 8 months. News Central correspondent Austin Azu, who has been covering the Okwama incident from day one, is on standby in the community to provide an update on how the community is faring 1 year after the tragic incident. Hi, Austin. Thank you for joining us. Please, can you go ahead and give us an update on how the people are, getting along with their day-to-day activity?
We are currently at Okwama in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State, and this is the entry point, one of the entry points to Okwama community, and I will plead with my camera operator to pan with me so that we'll be able to see who is here in Okwama today to mark the 1-year anniversary of the Okwama disaster. All right, please look at the poster we are seeing here, the banner. You can see we have 114 names on the list at the moment, a list of those that died in Okwama community on the 14th and 15th of March 2024. However, we can see a picture of a man standing here, and one of them, this is James Ogoroko, the President General of Okwama community, not late. Very unfortunate. And of course, we have the kinsmen who are here as well to talk to us, to bring us to speed how they are faring 1 year after the disaster that struck the once peaceful Okwama community. Okay, I have Jacob Okemon. Please tell us, 1 year after, how are you feeling? How are your people feeling?
Okay, my name is Honorable Jacob Akemo JP. I'm from Okwama community. I'm a leader in this community. We are here today to remember what happened to us 14th of March last year. Up to now, we have never able to come out of it. But today we want to remember these days because it's a day that we cannot be forgetting. We cannot forget these days because our President General is gone. It's no more. You can see his poster, left with family, wife and children, don't even know where they are. And you can see the numbers of people that we lose in this community. 114 is a very painful situation. It's not something we can just forget about. We are here today to remember these days, to tell the federal government, because we don't have anybody to cry to more than the federal government, to come to our rescue. Because most of our leaders are still in detention. The Professor Ekpepo is still in detention. Chief Bevis Adogbo is still there. Before we talk about Malaka and Mebe. This is what I see in the military detention up to today. And we are still crying till today. We are crying to the federal government. Please and please, come to our rescue. Let our people be set free. Let this community of Okwama be set free. Because we cannot continue to be crying every year. Every March 14, every March 15 will be crying. Please come to our rescue. We are not fighting with anybody. Okwama is a very peaceful community. I've never had any problem with anyone before now. And we still promise the federal government, we still remain on the peace level. We are not going to have problem with anybody. Please set our leaders free. We need our leaders to come home so that we can live together again. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And that's Jacob Okemo. Of course, we have Victor Okemo as well to bring us to speed how the people are faring 1 year after.
Yes, my name is Comrade Victor Okemo. We are here to mark today, March 14. A time like this last year, March 14, 2024, when Okwama people received a serious attack from Nigeria military men, and we lost a lot of people in this community on that very day. Our fathers, our mothers, and our children. Today is a day that we can never forget. So we are here today to mark the day for those that we lose on that very day. Then after that, our President General, the person of Honorable James Ogoroko, is the President General of Okwama community. We can't forget him. He's a person that he died in the army detention, and the corpse is already there. Up till now has not been released to his people and to the community. So we are now appeal to federal government, the state government, and Nigeria army. Our leaders as well, let them be released, and let the corpse of our President General be released. Then let the Okwama be rebuilt again. That is why we mark today, March 14, 2025, to appeal to everybody, to the whole nation, to come to our rescue and let Okwama be free and let Okwama be rebuilt.
All right, indeed, a sad moment and a mixed feelings among the residents of Okwama. I will still have some of them to talk to us. Okay, tell us, life with 1 year after some of these men you are saying on the poster, how has life been to you?
Very good. My name's Luke Oseveta. I'm a community leader. I think it is very flabbergastic hearing that Okwama was destroyed since on the 14th of last year. Till now, although I commend, I gave 50% to our governor who have tried to bring some succor to our people. But that notwithstanding, up till now, there's nothing whatsoever have been done. We have no place to live. You can see our children, they show them to you. You can see our women, we have nowhere to sleep. We have nowhere to put our head. Even food to eat self, there's no way. So we are appealing to, in fact, some individuals to come to our aid. You can see that our President General, we lost our President General, Mr. Honorable James Ogoroko, and others in detention. We still have about 4 of them there left. Honorable Bevis Adogbo is there, Professor Ato Ekpekpo is there, Mabel is there, Malaka is there. In fact, we are not fighting with any community. I see no reason why they should keep those people there. We don't have quarrel with any community whatsoever.
Okay. All right, thank you. We have Queen Akosa here. Please tell us, as mother, how do you feel 1 year after?
Most certainly, I thank our Nigerian nation for their contributor for this matter since March 14. We didn't have rest of month until now. When these incidents happen, they carry us to camp, IDP camp. Then they promise us that we should stay there for a while. Then they will start to build the communities, town hall, secondary school, primary school, and everything. Until they closed this camp, nothing was done. Nothing was done. If we feed us, we eat. We come back, we not see where to enter. If rain fall, we dey start rain. When sun dey heat, we dey start sun. It's not fair. But this is our Nigeria. We are pretty. We, the women of Okwama community, we are pretty, and we are crying every day that the suffering is not too much. We just be like Israelites, where Egypt are pursuing, but I know that as far as God will make heaven and earth, that He make the Israelites to get peace. And I believe that Okwama will get peace in Jesus' name. Amen. So my request is that may they remember Okwama to build this community back, and may they release this our people when they hold. Enough is enough. Please and please. We not fight with anybody. Okay. We not have barrack in Okwama that we go to barrack and destroy soldier. We didn't have barrack in Okwama, and we didn't come up for Okwama to go and fight anyone.
Okay, thank you. Because of time factor, we have one of the sons of those, particularly we have the son of
Actually have to, just pause here. Austin, we'll definitely come back to you, but we'll have to pause here. Thank you so much for that. And now we move on to Rivers State, where the governor, Siminalayi Fubara, has notified the State House of Assembly of his intention to represent the 2025 appropriation bill on Wednesday, March 19, 2025. This follows a failed attempt on March 12 when he was denied entry to the complex, that's the Assembly complex, despite prior notice. Fubara's letter, addressed to Speaker Martins Amaule, stresses compliance with the Supreme Court ruling and responds to the Assembly's request for a representation. The governor emphasized the importance of prioritizing the state's interests over political disagreements, aiming to move past the ongoing stalemate and push forward with progress for Rivers State. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has again written to the State House of Assembly informing them of his intention to represent the appropriation bill. Meanwhile, the State House of Assembly has called on the Department of State Services to investigate the Chief Judge, Justice Simeon Amadi, over allegations of age falsification. The matter was raised during Thursday's plenary session following the submission of documents to Speaker by the House Leader, Honorable Major Jack. Shortly after, Deputy Speaker Dumle Mao made a formal accusation against Justice Amadi. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released the updated voters register for Rivers State ahead of the local government council elections. INEC formally notified the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission in a letter dated March 13, 2025. The Commission confirmed receiving the register and reassured the public of its commitment to organizing free, fair, and credible elections. The elections are scheduled for Saturday, August 9, 2025. INEC also released the list of registered political parties, including the APC, PDP, APP, Labour Party, and 15 others. With the updated register in place, the Commission is intensifying preparations for a smooth electoral process. Still staying with developments in Rivers State, the Ijaw National Congress and the Rivers State Elders and Leaders Forum have rejected the alleged plots to use the Rivers State House of Assembly to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Both groups reacted separately, where they told the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, to leave Governor Fubara alone to concentrate on leading Rivers State to prosperity. They also asked President Bola Tinubu to call the former governor to order. The president of INC, Professor Benjamin Okaba, called for an urgent intervention from the federal government to avert another crisis. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by a public affairs analyst, Taiwo Olakbade. Taiwo, thank you so much for joining us on this topic.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me.
Now, earlier in the week, we actually saw Governor Fubara's attempt to visit the legislators to no avail. Again, he writes to them seeking to represent the budget. Now, do you see the governor's attempt, how do you see the governor's attempt at the moment?
Okay, thank you very much. I think sincerely, whatever might have happened in the past between the camp of Governor Fubara and that of FCT Minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike, I think they should have allowed the past to be. Particularly with the ruling, I think about 2 weeks ago, that the judgment from the Supreme Court, I want to believe, had laid all these matters to rest. And you can see every move by the governor to comply with the ruling coming from the Supreme Court. And we have also seen the attitude from the lawmakers to also, in one way or the other, want to frustrate the efforts being made by the governor. You gave the governor, after that ruling, 48 hours to represent the 2025 budget as directed by the Supreme Court. And the governor, despite saying that he is ready to comply with all the rulings of the Supreme Court, like even conducting a fresh local government election. And we have seen the breaking news as regards INEC releasing updated voters register for that repeat of that local government election that we hold in August. So at this moment, it looks like the ball is in the court of members of the Rivers State House of Assembly, particularly the one recognized by the Supreme Court, which is led by Honorable Martin Emewule. So I expect, particularly in the overall interest of the people of Rivers State, they should sheathe their sword. There's no need for all these. Now they're also coming up with the Chief Judge of Rivers State. All these tactics, delay tactics, frustration moves, and the likes, it won't do anyone any good. And whether we like it or not, the Rivers State House of Assembly Speaker, Martin Emewule, he has nothing to lose per se.
Well, you talked about them, sheathing their sword.
They need to sheath their sword, yes, because particularly
we've seen the governor, coming to terms with, just.
That's the reason why I said
exactly.
That's the reason why I said.
I was actually going to ask.
Okay.
Don't you think that it is already too late to get, or would you say that it is already?
It is never too late
to get these warring factions on a round table?
It is never too late, and it's better to be late than never. It is never too late. And that's why I said in my introductory remark that it is high time that the two parties allow the past to be, particularly with the verdict coming from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruling, as whether we like it or not, has given the backing to, should I say, the side of the minister of the FCT, but they shouldn't also overdo it. Because what they did to the governor on Wednesday by shutting the door of the House of Assembly, it's like they're also contradicting the ruling of that Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court ruled that the governor should represent the 2025 budget before the recognized House of Assembly led by Right Honorable Martin Emewule. So why do they refuse to allow the governor to come in? Why? And the governor said that he made several calls to the Honorable Speaker. He made several calls to the leadership of the House. And they are aware that the governor will be coming to represent the 2025 budget. So why? They can't claim ignorance. They can't say that they are not aware of this. We even saw the letter written and signed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara. I'm not on this television, national TV, to defend anyone. I'm saying it by the records that you can see. That's the letter sent by the governor, expressing his readiness to represent. What exactly do you want the governor to do in this regard? The governor is not going to suffer. It's the people of the state. And please, 1 minute. I also, with due respect to our honorable justices at the Supreme Court, but I fought one of the rulings that says that government should hold the federal allocation and derivation formula, derivation money that is that should be given to Rivers State, because there was a precedent when former President Obasanjo was in power. He held on to the local government funds in Lagos State because Tinubu created additional local government. The matter got to the Supreme Court, and eventually the ruling was that the money should be returned to Lagos State. Though Tinubu had left office by then, but the governor that succeeded him, Governor Fashola, took that money. The ruling that the money should not be given until the needful is done. How do you maintain the civil servants in Rivers State? Who will pay their salary if there is no money coming to the coffers of the Rivers State government and other logistics?
All right, Taiwo. Now, earlier you did ask, why, they shut the door on the governor, and there has been rumors, of an impeachment. Do you think that there's a likelihood of this rumor of impeachment coming to reality? And what danger do you foresee if that happens?
In our constitution, impeachment or removal is allowed against the governor, is allowed against the president if they have done anything in violation of the law, whether the House rule or our 1999 Constitution as amended, which is the grand norm in our country. So I'm not against whether impeachment or no impeachment. If indeed there are infractions on the governor that are verifiable, I won't say the House shouldn't go the way of the impeachment. But what is before us today shouldn't be a matter of impeachment or removal of the governor, except we want to further eat up the polity, which eventually we do not want any good. Because the Supreme Court that ruled did not rule that the House of Assembly should go and impeach the governor. The Supreme Court ruling did not also include that the House should remove the governor. Supreme Court ruled that the governor should go back and represent the 2025 budget before the Rivers State House of Assembly. The governor is complying. The ruling also says that the governor should cancel the election conducted in 2014, that there should be a new election to local government in Rivers, I think about 30 local governments or thereabout, and the governor is already complying. The day has been set aside, August 9th or 11th thereabout. What else do you want Governor Simi Fubara to do in this regard? And like I said earlier, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. In this regard, it is the people of the River State that are suffering. It's not the governor.
On our side, Taiwo. Thank you so much for taking time out to speak to us on this.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, the news continues. Stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has filed a contempt application against Senate President Godswill Akpabio over her suspension. Now, March 4th, the Federal High Court in Abuja issued an order restraining the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions for taking disciplinary action against Akpoti-Uduaghan. Justice Obiora Egwatu granted the order following an ex parte application filed by the senator's legal team. However, just 48 hours later, the Senate suspended Akpoti-Uduaghan for 6 months over alleged misconduct. The decision was made after the Senate adopted a report from the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions chaired by Senator Neda Imasweng. In the same vein, the chairman of the Senate Interparliamentary Committee, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, has slammed the suspended senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, saying her petition at the Interparliamentary Union is dead on arrival. Akpoti-Uduaghan, who was suspended from the Senate on March 6, had escalated her dispute with Senate President Akpabio to the UN Forum, alleging political victimization and accusing Akpabio of retaliation for rejecting his advances. However, Ibrahim argued that the IPU could not act on a petition since she is not a member. He clarified that IPU membership applies to countries, not individuals, and that Akpoti-Uduaghan was not authorized to represent Nigeria at the IPU. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has assured that the Abuja International Conference Center, which is currently being renovated, will be completed on schedule ahead of the May 29 second-year anniversary of the current government. The minister, during an inspection at the facility with several other road projects in Abuja, commended the quality of work being done, saying that the contractors have performed creditably well.
And have a total rehabilitation of the International Conference Center. and we're happy with the speed of work going on. I will believe by May ending, it is one of those projects that Mr. President will commission in his second year in office. We also have gone to the Ossex to Wassa, where CGC is directly involved. And you have had a contractor say, by the grace of God, by May, we'll also inaugurate that project. We have gone to N5, where General Beja is doing, you can see the quality of work going on there. But I can tell you I doubt the possibility of that being completed by May. I can tell you I'm quite very pleased with the quality of work going on by the contractors.
The European Union says it remains committed to supporting Nigeria despite the suspension of aid by some international partners. Now, this was reaffirmed by the EU ambassador to Nigeria, Gauthier Minot, during the launch of a €13 million social protection initiative at the United Nations House in Abuja. Our correspondent, Joshua Marai, reports.
According to UNICEF, despite Nigeria's high rate of monetary and multidimensional poverty, especially among women and children, social protection coverage remains limited, leaving many vulnerable households excluded from welfare programs. To address this gap, the European Union says it is committing €30 million to strengthen social protection system at the federal level and in 4 states of Abia, Benue, Sokoto and Oyo over the next 3 years.
Through our project, we will support the digital integrated system approach for social protection to inform policy and decision making. And the project will be implemented at federal but also at state level in Abia, Benue, Sokoto and Oyo states for a period of 3 years. At a time when we hear a lot about suspension, withdrawal, or reduction of international cooperation, rest assured that the European Union will continue through the Global Gateway Strategy to partner with Nigeria and with many partners, particularly the United Nations, to support Nigeria in its path towards sustainable progress and prosperity.
The United Nations Children Fund's representatives in Nigeria, Christian Midante, expressed the agency's commitment to ensuring the effective implementation of the EU-funded initiative.
I would like to then reiterate as well our commitment to continue supporting the country in all its efforts to build a viable social protection system and, most important, to provide solid, sustainable basis that can allow the fulfillment of the rights of women, of children, of adolescents and young people.
Pledging Nigeria's support, other stakeholders voiced optimism that the project would have a lasting impact on the country's most vulnerable populations.
Through this cooperation, we will strengthen policy frameworks, enhance service delivery, and create long-lasting impacts for the most vulnerable in our society.
Thank you for standing with Nigeria. Thank you not just by standing alone, standing with us, standing close to us at this crossroads of freezing international funding.
With growing concerns over poverty and limited social protection coverage, stakeholders say sustained collaboration and funding will be crucial in improving Nigeria's welfare system and securing better livelihood for citizens. In Abuja for News Central, I am Joshua Imarayi.
When we come back after the break, we'll talk about funding for African entrepreneurs. Stay with us. The Tony Elumelu Foundation is set to unveil its 2025 cohort for the TEF Entrepreneurship Program on March 22nd. Now, this announcement comes during a time of economic challenges and limited funding for African entrepreneurs. Since its inception in 2015, TEF has empowered thousands of African entrepreneurs by offering financial support, training, and mentorship. Each selected participant receives $5,000 in seed capital, access to top-notch business training, and valuable mentorship opportunities. TEF's impact is profound, with over 2 million Africans lifted out of poverty and more than 1.5 million jobs created. The foundation continues to play a pivotal role in fostering sustainable economic growth across the continent, particularly in sectors like agri-tech, fintech, and clean energy. Now, through this program, TEF remains committed to driving Africa's economic transformation. Lagos is one of the most congested cities in the world. 40% of cars in Nigeria are registered in Lagos. Commuters spend at least 3 hours in traffic each day. Traffic congestion leads to many problems for the residents of Lagos. Now the state government says it is tackling the challenges by leveraging on digital tools. Take a listen.
Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital, is one of the most populous cities in Africa. It has a network of roads connecting it internally and to other parts of the country. The road network faces challenges including traffic congestion, particularly during peak hours. Population growth has led to increased vehicle usage, necessitating new road constructions and upgrades. Now, the Lagos state government has described the takeoff of My Lagos app as a pivotal moment in the state's digital transformation. The governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, said this marks a good step towards creating a smarter, more connected Lagos for all its residents through real-time information on transportation, local businesses, events, and emergency services.
The Lagos app is a comprehensive digital platform designed with Lagosians in mind. It aims to streamline urban living by providing seamless access to essential city services, from real-time traffic updates and personalized navigation to emergency services including hospitals, fire departments, utility payments, business listings, and tourism information. This app consolidates everything you need into one user-friendly platform. In a dynamic metropolis like Lagos, access to timely and accurate information is very important.
It's definitely going to transform Lagos by connectivity, accessibility, and efficiency in, ensuring, and enhancing an easier daily life, especially in this ever-bustling metropolis that we are, which is Lagos.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said he was pleased with efforts to provide residents and visitors with a solution for all transport-related activities and essential updates about Lagos State.
It's a great initiative because it creates great opportunities for Lagos residents. It's specifically catered for indigenes of Lagos.
But it's a long way to go before this becomes ubiquitous across the entire Lagos State. But I charge everyone here to drive the awareness of this app across the whole of Lagos and to onboard as many solutions, content providers, and services providers onto this.
According to the state governor, this development is a step toward making Lagos a truly smart city by leveraging technology to improve accessibility, enhance services delivery, and simplify life for residents and commuters.
Lagos State is pushing forward with bold strategies to secure its place as Nigeria's economic powerhouse. A new economic update highlights key development plans from infrastructure improvement to business growth aimed at driving sustained progress. New Central Business correspondent Habiba Adebayo filed this report.
Lagos State is setting ambitious targets for economic development despite challenges like power shortages and rising costs. The 2025 Lagos Economic Development Update outlines a strategic vision focused on revenue assurance, infrastructure upgrades, business investment, and social development, all designed to strengthen the state's economy.
Lagos has the potential to develop its infrastructure faster, to improve the quality of those infrastructure, and to improve the lives, well-being, and livelihood of its people.
A major concern remains Lagos' energy deficit, which the report estimates costs the state 5.3 trillion naira annually. The state currently receives 1,000 megawatts from the national grid, far below the 9,000 megawatts it needs, forcing businesses and residents to rely on costly off-grid generators. but the government says solutions are underway. There's a renewed push for renewable energy projects and independent power initiatives to ease the energy gap and support businesses.
We're very excited at the fact that we're doing our LEDU updates, 2025 updates. So we're building on the initial reports which we had, and that just shows that, consistently it's something we want to do to ensure that we can continuously build and ensure that we can give our citizens the right access to the right sort of data which is specific to them in their environment.
The update also outlines plans to boost employment, streamline taxes, and enhance public engagement with a strong emphasis on innovation, fiscal sustainability, and economic resilience.
We realized since LSTF was set up about 8-9 years now, we realized that it's not only access to capital that's an entrepreneur's issue. There's actually access to infrastructure, there's access to capacity building, access to mentorship. But then also not everyone is caught up in entrepreneurship. So we do now have a thriving employability community.
These long-term development plans can reinforce legacy status as the economic heartbeat of Nigeria. Now, as Lagos moves forward with these initiatives, all eyes will be on how they translate into real economic gains for businesses and residents alike.
Coming up, 20 Burundi soldiers die in recent clashes with M23 rebels. We'll tell you more after the break. Join us again. Away from Nigeria, at least 20 Burundian soldiers have been killed in recent clashes with the M23 rebel group and Rwandan troops in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, military sources confirmed on Thursday. The fighting occurred on Monday and Tuesday in Kaziba, near the Burundian border, when M23 and Rwandan forces launched an assault on Burundian positions. Now, despite being surrounded, the Burundian troops managed to withdraw, leaving behind an injured commander. Lower intensity clashes continued through Thursday. Now, this marks a significant escalation in the ongoing violence as the M23 rebels push further into the mineral-rich region, raising concerns of broader regional conflicts. Talks to end the fighting are set to begin on March 18 in Angola. The European Union, together with South Africa, have held their first summit since 2018. The summit comes when the world is witnessing a new reality where both are currently the target of U.S. President Donald Trump's politics. The summit is an opportunity to intensify South Africa and the EU's partnership. Meanwhile, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has announced a 4.7 billion euro investment package for South Africa. News Central's Bongani Siziba has more.
In a moment of historic significance, South Africa welcomed European leaders for the 8th EU-South African Summit. This gathering is not just about discussions, it's a reaffirmation of commitment, cooperation, and shared futures.
Today's summit focused on a number of issues that were covered and discussed during our summit, and they focus on strengthening our trade and investment relations, which are vital for the growth of our economies and the achievement of our development goals as South Africa.
The partnership between EU and South Africa is evolving, both leaders emphasizing the need to bolster their economic relationship. The EU delegation emphasized the importance of this historical moment.
The European Union is and will remain a strong, reliable and predictable partner for South Africa. Today's discussions have reaffirmed the strength and depth of our enduring and strategic partnership, one built on shared values, mutual respect, and a commitment to democracy, multilateralism, and a fairer and more sustainable world.
The announcement of a 4.7 billion euro investment package to South Africa aims not just for economic growth, but for a collaborative journey towards mutual success. The delegation also reiterated the importance of building partnership. As South Africa embarks on its G20 presidency, the stakes are high, but so is the potential. With European Union support, the country is poised to not only strengthen its economy, but also to impact global discussions.
The achievements of G20 will be crucial not only for its members, but for the rest of the world. The summit has paved the way for even deeper cooperation and new opportunities for engagement. It is my hope that we will maintain the regularity of our summits.
Together, the EU and South Africa stands on the brink of transformation partnership, one that promises to create a lasting legacy of economic opportunity and shared responsibilities. In Cape Town, for News Central, Bongani Sizibu.
On World Wrap, passengers aboard an American Airlines flight were evacuated onto the tarmac at Denver International Airport after a fire broke out on the plane, sending thick smoke into the air. Footage from the scene showed passengers on the wing of the Boeing 737-800, some holding bags as flames burned near the plane's underside. The Federal Aviation Administration confirmed that inflatable slides were used to evacuate all 172 passengers and 6 crew members safely. While no serious injuries were reported, 12 passengers were treated for minor injuries. The flight, which had originated from Colorado Springs and was bound for Dallas, diverted to Denver after the crew reported engine vibrations. Upon landing, the plane caught fire while taxiing on the tarmac. Now, the FAA is investigating the cause of the incident. In business, Nigeria's federal government plans to co-invest with the private sector in deploying 7,000 telecommunication towers starting next year to enhance network coverage and digital connectivity. Minister of Communications, Dr. Bosun Tijani, announced this initiative during a stakeholder engagement in Lagos, highlighting the project's aim to provide access to 25 to 30 million Nigerians lacking infrastructure. Now, the government will hold a 49% stake, with private investors contributing 51%. In the world of sports, Plateau United has announced an increase in gate fees for their Nigeria Premier Football League March 30 fixture against Kano Pillars. Fans attending the game at the New Jos Stadium will now pay 500 naira for entry, up from the usual 200 naira. However, the club confirmed that the gate fee will revert to 200 naira from March Day 32. And that's all at this hour. But before we go, here's another look at some of our top stories. We told you that survivors of Okwama killings mark Remembrance Day with mixed feelings. We also told you that Fubara Rights Assembly plans budget representation on Wednesday as INEC releases updated voters register and list of political parties. Finally, you heard that 31 out of 1,500 persons diagnosed of cholera die in Ethiopia's Gambella region. Send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Darshan Usman.